Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of the Online Gathering Place. My name is Leah Petrucci, and I am a licensed mental health counselor and a holistic health and lifestyle coach. And I am your host this evening for the Online Gathering Place. Welcome for those of you who are new. If this is your first time, we are live. For those of you who are watching live, I'll give people a minute to trickle in and tell me where you're watching from. And if you're watching the replay, welcome. So the Online Gathering Place is a free online platform that a few volunteers have gotten together to create a safe place for people to come to and provide activities for mental health, for stress, for health and wellness, for anxiety reduction, for nervous system regulation, for just some entertainment, just some stress relief. So I'm one of the volunteers for the Online Gathering Place. There are several others as well. We are currently hosting different episodes on different nights and different platforms. I'm hosting this one on my YouTube channel, which is called Holistic Healing Network. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified when new live streams come out. These are mine, at least, are every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And there are several other times throughout the week. If you would like to know what days and times those are, it will be, all the information will be in the notes underneath the video. And also will be on our Facebook page. There is a Facebook page called Online Gathering Place. You can join that Facebook page and it'll give you all the details of when you can find these live streams. But again, currently mine are Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. So every week I try to do some different activities for people who just, need some stress relief, need a break in the hustle and bustle of their daily lives. And tonight I will be talking about survival tips for the holidays, since it is the day before Thanksgiving and that I'm recording this anyway. By the time you watch this, if you're watching the replay, it might be way past the holidays. But these are always good tips to know for holidays, and they're always good tips to know anyway, just for stress relief at any time. So, but I'm specifically going to be talking about some things specific to holidays tonight. So the agenda for tonight's call. So we're going to be going over some really easy, quick nervous system regulation techniques. And when I say nervous system regulation, what I mean is managing your nervous system. So our anxiety, basically, or our fight or flight response. I know a lot of you have heard that term. When our system goes into overload and we feel overwhelmed, our blood pressure starts to raise. We may start hyperventilating. Different things may happen physically. We may feel kind of butterflies in our stomach. We may feel anxious. Our muscles may tighten up. Our eyes may bug out of our heads. And we may start to get clammy skin. So many different things can happen to the body when we go into a fight or flight response. And that basically means that we perceive some kind of threat. And we prepare ourselves to fight that threat or flee or run, get out of Dodge. Or another option is freeze. We freeze up. There's actually 4 nervous system responses that I'm going to talk about tonight: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. We've already talked about fight and flight. Freeze is just when you freeze up, you kind of feel numb. You can't move. You can't think. You can't do anything. You just kind of have to just lay there in bed, and there's not much you can get done. That's freeze. And then there's fawn, and that's people pleasing. When we fawn over someone, we let them get their way, and we just kind of give in to whatever they want. And those 4 are definitely ones that happen over the holidays for a lot of people, myself included. So, so we're going to go over some really easy ways to regulate your nervous system, to calm down that fight or flight response, and to be able to hopefully get through whatever moment that you're having, and just to be able to calm down the body. And when that happens, then we can start to think more clearly. Our brain comes back online. All the blood goes from the back brain, which is our survival part of the brain, our primitive part of the brain, comes back online, comes back to the front brain, which is our prefrontal cortex, which is where we do all of our rational thinking and our executive judgment making. That all goes out the window when we are in fight or flight and freeze and fawn. So I want to teach you some really easy ways to combat that, and also ways that aren't obvious, so we can use them in front of other people. For example, when we're at the dinner table on Thanksgiving Day or Christmas Day or whatever holiday, or maybe it doesn't even need to be a holiday. You're just with family, or hey, maybe you're at work. Maybe you're in a staff meeting and you're starting to go in fight or flight, and you want to have some really easy ways to regulate your nervous system, to calm your nervous system. And you don't want anyone to know what you're doing. As some of you who may have seen my tapping demonstrations, tapping, you wouldn't really want to start doing this like in front of a staff meeting, right? You wouldn't really start wanting to do some of the weird monkey looking tapping exercises that sometimes come along with tapping. So I'm going to actually show you some ways to get around that, and some other alternatives, ways that you can somatically, somatic means body. So we're going to learn some neurosomatic techniques. Neuro is brain, somatic is body, techniques that most people won't know that you're doing it. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about some different boundaries that we can set, or some general boundaries, not very specific things to say like we talked about last week. And by the way, if you missed last week's live stream, that was a great one. I will, when the live stream is done, I will go back and link a card up in the corner where you can go back and watch that live stream from last week if you would like to actually practice specific boundaries, specific things to say. And we do that while we're tapping, while we're doing some nervous system regulation to kind of calm the body down, because it can be uncomfortable to set boundaries, and it can take practice. So we're going to talk about those things tonight. So I've got my hot beverage. Yes, this is my Golden Girls. This is my favorite Golden Girls mug. I like to drink out of it when I just need a little bit of comfort. I like to wear my nice, comfortable shawl. I don't know, it just makes me feel comfortable and at home. And this saying is one of my favorites: keep calm and eat cheesecake. If you're a Golden Girls lover, you'll know what that means. And since Thanksgiving is tomorrow, I plan on eating some kind of dessert. All right, I'm going to take a sip of this and we're going to get going. All right. So also, as you can see, I have my diffuser going, as I often do in these live streams. I will talk briefly about some of the products that I use to help calm the nervous system. You definitely don't have to have these products. You can do all of these things that I'm going to teach without any of these things, because if you want to be discreet, you really don't need any products. You just use the power of your hands and your body and your feet. But I will just briefly mention some of these products because I've talked about them in the past. And this week is Black Friday week, and there's a lot of great deals on some of these products that I have talked about in the past. And I'll also, as I go along, link some videos if you want to go back and rewatch some of the episodes that you might have missed that talk in more detail about some of these products and how they might be able to help you calm your nervous system. But let's go ahead and get started with the ones that are really easy to do and you don't need any equipment. All right, so So the very first technique is simply just putting your tongue in the roof of your mouth, just kind of flipping it up like so, but no one sees it. And you just put it to the roof of your mouth and hold it there. And you just take a breath in and take a breath out. Let's do that together. So put your tongue, fold it up to the roof of your mouth, take a breath in and a breath out, and kind of smile. So if someone's saying something that is, let's say at the dinner table, that's really irritating to you, and you just want to try that, just put your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Or maybe you can kind of play with it back and forth on the roof of your mouth. That works as well, because any type of movement for the tongue actually activates the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is our largest cranial nerve, 10th cranial nerve, which connects our brain to our body. And the vagus nerve, when it is calmed, that brings us down out of fight or flight down to parasympathetic state, which is the opposite of fight or flight, is rest and digest. So we start to calm down, we start to digest our food, we start to feel better. And so anything that involves the mouth or the tongue, the throat, it's attached actually to the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve sits on the base of the skull. And so the tongue and the throat and all those muscles are attached to vagus nerve. So swallowing, for example, what I just did, I swallowed naturally. That's because I'm starting to relax, going into parasympathetic state, and swallowing is a sign of that. So that is a good sign. Yawning is also a good sign that your nervous system is shifting down into parasympathetic, which is where you want it to be. So that's a simple thing you can do. Just put your tongue to the roof of your mouth and just take a breath in and out. Okay, another thing you can do, let's say you're sitting at a table. Let's say you're sitting at a dinner table, you're sitting at a table at work, office, you're having a big office meeting. You can do a little bit of tapping using your fingertips. So in other words, let's take our thumbs, take your thumb and your pointer finger and just tap them together like so. And then take the thumb and the middle finger, tap, 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 tap. Thumb and the ring finger, tap, 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 thumb and pinky. And so I'm doing this where you can see it, but the point is to do it underneath the table. No one knows what you're doing. You can't see what I'm doing right now. I'm tapping and you can't see it. And I just took a spontaneous breath right there, which is also a good sign that my nervous system is shifting down. I'm down regulating. So that's an easy thing to do. And some of you may already do that and naturally, and you didn't really know that it was because you were soothing yourself. There's a lot of things like that you'll find that we talk about, and you might think, oh, I already do that. That's kind of a natural thing that I do. Here's another natural thing that a lot of people do, and they don't realize that it's soothing, is pulling at their earlobe. I do that. So maybe when you're called on in public and you have to answer and you start speaking in public, you might find, you're just grabbing at your earlobe. That's a soothing technique. And go ahead and just pull at your earlobe a little bit. And actually you can even start just going up the ear. These are called ear tugs. You could start wherever you want. You could start at the bottom and work your way up. You can start at the top and tug down. You can tug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do the other ear if that feels good. You can do both ears, kind of play around with it. You can even kind of play around inside the ear canal, just kind of give it a little massage. I like to use essential oils for this one. Actually, let me grab one of my favorites. I love these little roller balls, as they're called. This one is frankincense, which is one of my favorites from doTERRA. And you just open it and it has a little roller ball. And I like to just take it and roll it right down the back of my ear Stop right there at that little divot right behind the ear. There's a little divot. Go ahead and put your finger, like maybe your pointer finger. It really doesn't matter which one, but let's just say our pointer finger in that little divot behind the earlobe, right where the skull meets the neck, and just kind of hold it in that little divot. Just take a deep breath in and out. And right away, I just feel that shift. And because I've also put a little bit of essential oil, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of massage inside. You don't want to put your finger inside your ear canal, but you can kind of massage the innards of the ear, kind of around like the tragus, which is that little flap right there. And I think the daith and the other parts of the ears where people normally get piercings, just kind of massage. Feels so good. I'm going to do the other ear with my frankincense roller ball. I also like to, after I do the ears, I also like to just take the roller ball and go up and down the neck. And then I like to take both hands. I know this kind of looks more obvious. You know, you might not want to sit there at the dinner table and start massaging, your neck. But this right here is a really discreet thing to do. Watch, it just kind of looks like I'm resting my hand and I'm putting my finger in that little divot behind the ear. You don't say. Hold on. My camera likes to just shut itself off randomly. So give me just 1 second. Okay. And we're back. By the way, I'm waiting on Black Friday to buy a new camera, so hopefully it won't do these kind of random shutdowns. But anyway, so go ahead and, if you just put your finger behind your ear and you can kind of just rest your hand on your face and it looks like you're attentively listening. You don't say. Okay, all right, yeah, tell me more about that. And it doesn't, person won't have any idea what you're doing, that you're regulating your nervous system. You can also just kind of rub the area. You can tug, do whatever, play around with the ears and see what feels best to you. But that's more of a discreet way of soothing. Here's another discreet way of soothing that you might not know, that you probably do and you didn't know it was soothing. Do you ever kind of push your hair behind your ears, like back behind your ears like that? Do you know that that's a soothing mechanism? And I'll tell you why. So this mechanism right here to smooth your hair behind the ears falls along one of the Chinese meridians in traditional Chinese medicine, which is called triple warmer. Triple warmer meridian is actually works along with our fight or flight response. The triple warmer meridian starts at this point here, which is kind of the side of the eye. And this is one of the tapping points. If you've ever watched any of my demonstrations for tapping or emotional freedom technique, and you can go back to my homepage on my YouTube channel on Holistic Healing Network, and there's several videos on tapping, several demonstrations on tapping, and I will also link a card in the corner here. And you can go back and watch any of the videos that I do on tapping. But this is where triple warmer starts. The entire meridian goes behind the ear, stops here, and then goes down the shoulders, down the arms, gets the elbow, and then goes out the forearms and the fourth fingers. And that whole movement that I just did is called the triple warmer smoothie. And there's actually a short 60-second video that I also have on the homepage of my YouTube channel that shows you quickly how to do the triple warmer smoothie. Because what you're doing is you're just tracing that triple warmer meridian. You're calming down that meridian that controls fight or flight. So you're calming down the fight or flight response. You're smoothing the hair back. You can kind of hold here for a second. Then you cross your arms, follow down the sides of the arms, get the elbows, the forearms, and then go out your fourth finger. And that's called the triple warmer smoothie. That is a little more obvious. Let's say if you were in front of people and you kind of did this. But, if you kind of did it quickly, someone might not notice. It might just kind of look like you're smoothing your hair back and okay. There's ways that I figured out how to do it that it's more discreet. But if you want to just do the first part, instead of kind of using flat hands like that, you can just curl your fingers and just smooth the hair back and then stop. You can just do that part. So just smooth it back. Try that a couple of times with me if you haven't already. So just smooth the hair back behind your ears a couple of times. And breathe in and out. Okay. See? Pretty relaxing, right? So that's called the triple warmer smoothie, and you can do the entire thing if you want. It's that quick. Literally, it took 3 seconds. Or you can just do the half. Okay. So the next one is very simple. It involves a visual reset. So you may have seen me demonstrate this before. And when I've demonstrated it before, there's a couple ways to do it. You can either put your hands behind your head or you can make an L shaped. And this is simply just to keep your head in place. The important thing is that you're looking forward and you're not moving your head. But the thing is, let's say you're in front of people and you don't want to do either one of these. So just kind of be mindful and make sure that you're not moving your head and just simply look as far as you can to the right without going into pain and just hold your gaze. Try for 30 seconds if you can. Continue to breathe in and out. And you're just doing a visual reset here. This is getting the vagus nerve, which again is the opposite of fight or flight. If your eyes start twitching or they start to hurt, then just go ahead and stop. Maybe flicker your eyes open, kind of reset them. Take a deep breath in and let it out. So that is a quick visual reset. One thing we forgot to do an assessment. So let's do that real quick just to see if your nervous system is responding positively to this. So there's an easy way to do that by just doing a cervical range of motion assessment. So rotate your neck to the right as far as you can without going into pain. And just kind of notate how far you can go and then go to the left and just get an idea of your range of motion. And now we're going to do that reset, get that visual reset again, but we're going to look to the left this time. So just mindfully keep your head forward, but look to the left as far as you can without going into pain. Don't strain your eyes. And we're going to try for 30 seconds. If it starts to hurt or be uncomfortable, then go ahead and stop. You might have noticed a shift already. See, I already had a shift. I already had a spontaneous breath. There's another one. So quickly. All right, go ahead and stop. Flutter the eyes open, or you can do a quick visual reset. You can just kind of put your palms over your eyes and let everything go dark for a second. Just kind of reset your eyes. Breathe in and out. Okay. And let's reassess that and see if that helped your nervous system calm down. So go ahead and move your neck to the right. My nervous system loved that one. You can tell because I have more range of motion. And I'm going to go to the left. Yep. It loved all of those. So when we have more range of motion, that means our muscles are relaxing. They're calming down. Therefore, we get more range of motion. When we're stiff, when our muscles are tight, specifically our neck, we can barely turn, right? And we're like, oh, I got to go to the chiropractor. Because I do these nervous system regulation techniques pretty much daily, I only have to go to the chiropractor once a month when I used to have to go once a week. So these exercises are really helpful. This is nervous system training. Like just like you have to do muscle training, this is nervous system training. So that was a really good one. Just looking to the right and looking to the left and holding your gaze. Gaze stabilization, I believe, is the formal name for that technique. Okay. We've got two more, and then we're going to move on to talk about some boundaries. So another really easy one to do without bringing attention to what you're doing is box breathing. Different kinds of breathing. There's so many different sequences of breathing that you can do. This one is a really easy one. Basically, what you do is you inhale on a count of 4. We're going to do it together. I'm going to count us down. So we're going to inhale for 4. Ready, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, and relax. Okay, take a breath in. Take a breath out. And let's assess that again. Just do our cervical rotation. Okay. I've got good range of motion there, even though I counted down and really didn't do that exercise with you. My nervous system is still behaving well, positively. So let's do that one more time, that box breath. Okay. And you can do different counts. You can inhale for 2 and hold for 2. You can do everything for 2. You can inhale for 2 and hold for 4. Whatever variation works for you. Right now, we're just going to do the 4. It's called box breathing. This is why, because we inhale, we trace a box. We inhale for 4, we hold. Then we exhale for 4, and then we hold. So we kind of trace a box. So we inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. So if you think of it that way. So let's try that again. Okay. Ready, and go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, and relax. Okay, take a deep breath in and out. And let's reassess that one again. Okay, nervous system still good. Sometimes you'll have different results on different sides. So like, for example, my left side responded a little bit better than my right side. That's perfectly normal. That's okay. You're not always going to be even. Okay, and the last one that we're going to work on today that is a discrete way of regulating your nervous system are ankle circles or ankle figure 8s. So I'm going to just move my camera a little bit so I can show you those. But the name kind of speaks for itself. So let's say you're at the dinner table, and you're starting to feel kind of anxious or irritated. And just pick up one of your ankles. Let's start with the right. And let's just circle them around. Just do a slow circles, small circles at first. Just move your ankle joint. Do maybe 5 in one direction, and then do 5 in the other direction. You might feel it kind of cracking and tight, and that's okay. It'll get better, hopefully. It should, if your nervous system responds well. Okay, same thing. Let's pick up the left, and let's do some circles in one direction. Let's do 5. And then the other direction. Okay. And you can also do some figure 8s. So In other words, you go one way and then you turn it around. You just trace a figure 8 with your ankle joint, using your ankle joint. You can do this underneath the dinner table and no one knows what you're doing. Let's go the opposite direction now. Go as slow as you need to keep it nice and controlled and precise. Okay, let's try the other foot now. You like my little socks? My little stripy socks. That's kind of fun too, just to wear some funky socks. Boost your mood, wear some funky socks. Okay. And I think I said to go in the other direction. If I didn't, go in the other direction. And do about 5 in each. All right, go ahead and relax. Take a deep breath in. And out. Okay, let's reassess that one. Okay, my nervous system like that. If you get a negative response, so let's say you go to move your neck and it's worse, like you feel it's tighter, then that just simply means your nervous system, that was too much stimuli for your nervous system. Your nervous system didn't like that. So my suggestion would be to follow it up right away, right now, with something positive. Do one of the drills that you responded positively to, whether it was the tongue and the roof of the mouth, whether it was tapping the fingers, whether it was the triple warmer smoothie, smoothing your hair behind the ears, whether it was the ear tugs, whether it was looking to the right or the left, or anything that you, whether it was tapping, what we've done in the past. Do something, rubbing your hands together, do something that you know your nervous system is going to like. And if you're still new to these, just keep learning. Just keep watching these videos. You can watch the replays of these live streams at any time, whatever you need, and you'll continue to learn and you'll continue to know which ones your nervous system responds positively to. But if you do respond negatively to, then just simply do a positive drill. If you do want to try that one again, just dial it back. Maybe instead of doing 5 repetitions, just do 1 or 2 and then reassess. See how your nervous system responded and keep maybe working up. Keep sandwiching it in with positive drills that you know your nervous system likes. Drills meaning techniques. All right. So those are the ones that I wanted to teach that are kind of more on a discrete level. So now we're going to shift gears in talking about ways that you can take care of yourself by setting some boundaries over the holidays. So I am actually taking some of these from a book called Surviving the Holidays by Grief Share. This is a program for people who have lost a loved one, and maybe this is the first year for you since you've lost your loved one. Maybe it's been many years, however many years. It's still hard. The holidays can still be hard because you are without that loved one. So this is a program that I highly recommend. Actually, they have free groups in most zip codes, and I'll put the link in the notes. But all you have to do to find if there's a group in your area is go to griefshare.org, and put in your zip code and find any meetings in your area. And they do the Surviving the Holidays, of course, on the holidays, and they do the entire Grief Share curriculum. It's a workbook. You also watch videos and you just share with people. It's an excellent group. I used to lead it. Typically, they do them out of churches. They are Christian-based, FYI. If that is not your thing, then it might not be a good fit for you. But if it is, I think it's an excellent program. And so I'm taking some of these boundaries from this book, and we're going to go over some some of those boundaries. So for the holidays, here are some ideas on how to take care of yourself over the holidays. Don't overextend yourself. So in other words, don't commit to too many parties, to too many gatherings. Don't take on everything yourself, like the decorating, the cooking, the cleaning, the whatever, the taking care of the kids, the grandkids. Don't overextend yourself. And that's hard for those of us who are people pleasers and givers, and of course, sometimes this is easier said than done. So stick around to the end and we'll talk about ways that you can continue to get some further help with some of these things. But basically, don't overextend yourself. Ask for help. That's a really hard one for a lot of people. Asking for help, it doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you're not Superman or Superwoman, okay? We need to ask for help. We can't do everything ourselves. And why would we want to? It's too much. Then we do everything ourselves, we're going to burn out. We're going to get resentful. We're going to get sick. And we're going to lose our joy. And one of the points of the season is to be joyful and spend time with loved ones. So ask for help. Just say, hey, can you help me clean up? Can you help me? Hey, how about if I prepare and you do the dishes? Can you help me decorate? Whatever, put the kids to work. Sometimes you can make it fun for them to help you decorate and things like that. Sometimes you can turn it into a family quality time. Okay. Third one is delegate tasks. Like I just said, give some of the jobs to the kids. Let them help you decorate. Let them help you clean up if possible, depending on their age. But delegate tasks, and sometimes if that means that you have to hire somebody, nowadays you can hire people to do almost anything. There's sites like TaskRabbit, Upworks. Of course, that's a little bit more like computerized stuff, but things like TaskRabbit. If there's any other ideas that people know about of websites where you can hire people, please put it in the comments or the chat. Hire people to clean your house. Take that off your hands. There's services that I have seen advertised for like as low as $19 a month, or maybe it's $19 for the first cleaning, something very reasonable. Have someone come and help you clean. Maybe delegate tasks as far as maybe you order out this year. Maybe you go to a restaurant. Maybe you get it catered. Maybe you do DoorDash. That's okay. That's okay. Doesn't always have to be like a homemade meal from scratch every year. Sometimes things just happen. We don't have the energy to do everything and we have to delegate tasks, and that's just okay. Give yourself permission to do that. I'm giving you permission to do these things. You have to give yourself permission to do these things. Which brings me to the next one, which is so, so important, which is learn to say no. This is a hard one. Sometimes this needs some further help of a therapist or a coach, and we will talk about that in a few minutes. But learn to say no in a kind way. I really appreciate the invitation, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it this year. Or, I've been invited to a lot of parties and I really need to limit myself to the gatherings that I go to. Whatever, learn to say no. Don't do as many things. And sometimes we don't really know that we're doing too much until we start feeling it. We start feeling that burnout feeling. We start feeling resentful. We start feeling run down, fatigued, all of those types of symptoms that tells us we're running the candle at both ends. Okay, I already said this, but turn down invitations to gatherings. Not all of them, but maybe go to some. but not like every week. I've got all these gatherings. I've got the work party, the office party to go to, got a family gathering. I've got my husband, blah, blah, my spouse or my kids thing, figure out what are priorities and then just say no to the others. You just can't do it all. There's just so much to do. We can't do it all. Enlist support. I kind of went over this one earlier with delegate tasks. Ask for help, enlist support, hire people to do things, and create new traditions. So like I said earlier, maybe this is the year that you, instead of cooking from scratch, you have it catered. Maybe you have a Boston Market or your local Amish restaurants, which, oh my gosh, do a fabulous job for Thanksgiving food. Amazing. In my area, we have Yoder's, which is a fabulous Amish restaurant chain that make yummy food and pies, and just have that. Go, instead of making dessert, go and buy some. Go and have it ordered. Make it easier. Or maybe this year you don't have as much money as you would like. That's my situation. I usually like to do a lot of shopping on Black Friday to stock up on things that I need for my health and wellness for the year, as well as Christmas presents. And I'm just not going to be able to do that this year. And so I just have to be realistic and trying to create new ways of doing things. So instead, what I'm doing is, instead of spending a lot of money, I'm trying to schedule fun activities that don't cost a lot of money throughout the month, just to have some joy. And so maybe you create a new tradition that, I don't know, maybe you decide to do something different with your family this year. Think about it. Think about some new things that you could do. And it is okay to change your mind. You are not set in stone, even though you may have told someone you could do this thing. You told someone you could make this dish from scratch and bring it. It's okay to say, listen, I know I said that I could do this, but unfortunately, I am just very stressed out. A lot has been going on, and I'm just not going to be able to do what I said. Maybe offer an alternative, or just have it be that. I'm just unable to do that. I hope you'll understand. And if they are a true friend, they will understand. They will still love you. And if not, if they give you a hard time, then they're not. Ask yourself if they're really worth maintaining the relationship. We talked a little bit about this at last week's live stream, so definitely go back and watch that one too. Okay, allow yourself. This one's so important. Allow yourself to process emotions. And you notice I said in healthy ways. Okay, allow yourself to have a little bit of an adult tantrum if you need to, as long as you're not causing any harm, you're not saying any negative language to anyone, you're not hurting anyone. Have a little bit of a scream stomp fest in your room, punch a pillow, pop some bubble wrap, drive and scream to your favorite music, play some Metallica, and just like let loose in the car or wherever. Process emotions, let them out, because if they're just stuck, if you just stuff the emotions, they're going to stay stuffed and stuck, and they're going to keep recycling. So you have to find healthy ways to process your emotions. Tapping is a healthy way to process emotions. It's called emotional freedom technique for a reason. I had to use it earlier today. I won't go into detail, but I had a little bit of a day, and I had to just really just tap it out and just kind of do a little bit of stomping and let it out. And I could feel that shift as soon as I allowed myself to process that emotion. I calmed down and I was able to think more clearly. So find a way to process emotions in healthy ways. And I don't mean go binge eat a bunch of, sugar cookies for holiday. If you want to have a treat and allow yourself to have a treat in a reasonable amount, okay. There's a big difference between, doing something in moderation and doing something excessively. All right. Take time to rest and practice self-care. Yes. Sometimes we're just not going to be able to get everything done on our to-do list, and that's okay. Sometimes we have to push things off for tomorrow or next week or next month. That is just how life works. Things don't always work out as we had planned. We have to learn how to not be so rigid and to be flexible. And this is also a great thing to work on with a counselor or a coach. Sometimes these things don't happen for us naturally, and we need help with self-care. Okay, and that brings me to a very good point. Don't cancel your sessions with your therapist over the holidays. I can't tell you how many of my clients do this. And actually, this holiday season, surprisingly, is the slowest season of the year for therapists. And I don't know about coaches, because this is only my second year as a coach. So I'm very used to the season of a therapist. I definitely am slow as a coach this season as well, because people get so wrapped up in the holiday hustle and bustle, and they put their self-care on the back burner. They don't prioritize their self-care. Now, I understand if somebody is, traveling and they really can't do a session, but if you have a therapist like myself who does telehealth, who you can have a session when you're traveling, as long as you can find a private place to go, you can have a phone call or a Zoom. As long as you can do that, then we can fit in the session. If it's not possible, it's understandable. But if it is possible, but you're just kind of saying, oh, well, I've got so much to do, it's not really healthy. You're not serving yourself. Being accountable to your self-care, including keeping your appointments with your therapist or with your coach, with your healthcare practitioners, whatever it is that you need to do, keep those. Because if you're not taking the time for that self-care, then you're not going to be in good shape to show up for anybody else, right? All right. Regulate your nervous system. So all of the things that we've been talking about tonight, all of the different drills are different nervous system regulation tools. You're training your nervous system to be more resilient, to learn how to calm down quickly. And over time, when you practice these different techniques, I suggest to practice just a couple a day. Sprinkle them throughout your day, or maybe do like a couple in the morning. If you want to start your morning out right, just do a couple of these. You notice they don't take up a lot of time at all. If you start a routine of doing this regular nervous system work, then your nervous system will be more resilient over time. You'll start noticing that, let's say you're faced with a stressor that normally would get you up to like an 8 out of 10 on the stress scale. Once you've done enough nervous system regulation training, you might face that same trigger, and instead of reacting at an 8 out of 10, maybe you only react at a 4 out of 10. And that's huge progress. So keep up the nervous system regulation training. And these videos are here for you anytime. You can go back and watch any of these. You can fast forward to the parts that you need them. I have an online business manager who takes these longer videos and makes shorter videos out of them and repurposes them for them to be shorter. So keep an eye out for those. And you go back and watch them anytime you need them. Okay, schedule fun activities that bring you joy. As I said earlier, this is something I'm trying to do for myself. It is also my birthday month. December 5th, it is my birthday. I will be 45 this year. It's a big milestone for me. And even though I don't have as much money as I would like this year to spend on myself and to treat myself, I am scheduling different fun activities throughout the month, just so I don't have to pressure and put it all on that one day. I want to enjoy the season. I want to enjoy 45 years of life. So I am scheduling all these different fun activities throughout the month with people that I care about. And by myself, I'm just doing things by myself, things that I like to do. So do that. Go, whatever you like to do. Do you like to go drive around and look at Christmas lights? Do you like to go to the movies? Do you like to go out to eat? Do you like to, you like to watch Hallmark Christmas movies when they come out? You like to bake Christmas cookies? Do you, whatever it is you like to do. You like to sing Christmas carols, whatever. If you don't like any of the Christmas crap, then don't do any of that. Do different stuff that you enjoy doing. That's the important part, is making sure that it's what you enjoy. Okay, and the last one, don't spend too much time or money that will only cause burnout or resentment later. A lot of people really get wrapped up in the materialism of the season, the Black Friday sales, the deals, the Christmas shopping. And it's not about that. At least it's not about that for me. It's about that for a lot of marketers. But for me, I'm trying to find the real reason for the season. Of course, for me also is my higher power, God, is the true reason for the season, is the birth of Jesus. But not everyone believes that, and that's okay. So turn it and make it what it is for you. Is it spending quality time with your loved ones? Is it giving? Is it taking care of yourself? What does it mean to you? Find the reason and focus more on that. Because if we spend too much time burning ourselves out doing the things that really in the end don't matter, we don't have to have the best house on the block with the lights. Hello, Chevy Chase in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, one of the best Christmas movies. Thank you. We don't have to get our loved ones the best Christmas gifts. It's really not about that, because that's in the end, that's just going to cause burnout and resentment. Because let's say you go out and you do all of these things and you don't get recognized for them or appreciated, and that's really what you were going for. And that causes all of those guilt and shame and the resentment and ew and icky. If you relate to any of that, if you relate to any of these things that I've talked about as far as the boundaries, and you struggle with boundaries, I am now going to switch over and talk about ways that you can continue to work on that. So if you enjoyed what we talked about tonight and you would like to continue to show up and learn new things, then tune in next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will be doing something different next week. I don't know yet what it's going to be, but I also would love some requests. You can also put some requests in the comments of some activities that you would like to do. In some future streams, I would like to do some music related, some singing. I do love to sing. I do love karaoke, so I may do a little performance for y'all. We may do some movie trivia. I love movie trivia. I had an idea earlier and it left me, but if you have any ideas of any activities you would like to see me do, go ahead and leave them in the comments. So a couple resources I want to share with y'all. If you liked the work that I do and you would like to work with me, there are very easy ways that you can do that. The best way is to go to my website, leahpetrucci.com. All of my contact information is on there. My phone number, my email. By the way, phone number is the best way to reach me. You can send me a text. You can call. There's also a link on my website to schedule a free 30-minute consultation. If you have questions or if you just want to know more about the services that I offer, my website goes into a lot more detail. You can also get on my email list, which I don't have that on my website just yet. So here it is. If you'd like to get on my email list to get regular emails from me in the form of a newsletter, then you can go to leahpetrucci.com/redflags-checklist. You will also get a free copy of my relationship red flags checklist, which is a document I created to help people identify toxic behavior in early dating as well as later in the relationship. If you don't need that, that's okay. And you just want to get on my email list, that's okay. You can still go to the link and still get on my email list, and you don't even have to read the checklist. It's just one of my freebies that you get. when you sign up to my newsletter. All right. So couple other things that I mentioned, a couple of resources that I mentioned. Again, I talked about the Surviving the Holidays or the Grief Share group. That'll also be in the notes, but that is griefshare.org. There's a couple of several Black Friday sales going on this week. And if you have been in some of my live streams in the past, you have seen me demonstrate some different products that are really helpful to calm down the nervous system. So I'm going to just briefly show a couple of those, and then all of the links to get all the deals and the sales that are going on this week are in the notes as well. So my essential oils, y'all know I love my essential oils. This company is one of my favorites. It is called Vibrant Blue Oils. This particular oil here is one of my favorites. Actually, I'm going to use a little bit. It's called Fascia Release. The fascia is our connective tissue that connects our joints and our lymphatic fluid, our bones. And so I like to just put a little bit on my neck, especially after I've had a long day at the computer. And it's a blend of different oils. So these oils from this company, Vibrant Blue Oils, for Black Friday week, they are doing 25% off, which is really good, actually. I think that's probably the best that I've seen is 25% off sale. So they are doing that for this entire week, for Black Friday week. The other Black Friday deals that are going on are castor oil. Y'all have heard me talk about castor oil. And I actually do also have a video on my homepage, on my YouTube channel about castor oil. If you'd like to see that video, I will link a card up in the corner. There are the sales that are going on. It's going to be in the notes. I can't recall, but it's basically like you buy one or two things and you keep getting more and more % off. So castor oil, which I love, is great for so many things. Inflammation. It's great for gut health, lymphatic drainage, lymph drainage. I already said that. Liver detox, breast health, hormone balancing, stress, sleep, so many things. And this is one of the products that I love that also goes with the castor oil. So I put a little bit of castor oil on my neck, and then I'll take this fascia roller ball, and which has like a bunch of these little stainless steel roller balls, and I will really just get into the neck. I love this. It is so parasympathetic. I really like to just get it on like the back of the ear or down this ropey muscle right here, which is called the SCM, sternocleidomastoid muscle. I went over this in a previous live stream. And actually, you can use either the roller ball, or in the past, I have used my electronic toothbrush, which I don't have on me right now. But you can use an electronic toothbrush which vibrates. Turn it around so the bristles aren't touching your skin. Use the back of it and just get it to vibrate down that big muscle right there. And speaking of that, another Black Friday sale that's going on this week as far as lymphatic drainage. And lymphatic drainage, as I talked about in my previous live stream, there is actually an entire video that I did a couple weeks ago about calming the nervous system through lymphatic detox. Our lymphatic system is our toxin elimination system. We have lymph nodes in many places underneath the neck, in the armpits, the groin area, and so forth. And when those get clogged with toxins, because we are exposed to hundreds of thousands of toxins in a day, in our food, in our water, in our air, in our environment, and we need to clean out those toxins from our lymphatic system. So if our lymphatic system isn't working right, if it's clogged, we're going to have swollen glands, swollen ankles. We're going to feel sluggish. We're going to have brain fog. We're going to have fatigue. We're not going to be in a good mood. We're not going to sleep right. We're not going to be able to think right. So there's a couple products that I really like to do really like to use. This is one of the products that is on Black Friday sale this week, which is called Lymph Flow, and it's a really good markdown actually. 40%, I believe. I just made my order yesterday, and I ordered this little 1 ounce jar, and it goes a long way. It's like a little cream. You just need a little bit of it, and you put some on the lymphatic area. And along with this, I ordered one for myself. So when I get it, I will demonstrate. It's called the Flow Vibe. It's like a vibrating object that I can use instead of my toothbrush. So, if you don't want to order it and you want to use your vibrating electronic toothbrush, go for it. I really wanted to order this Flow Vibe. I've been wanting it for months, and I finally got it because it was marked down for Black Friday. So you can order the bundle, the Lymph Flow plus the Flow Vibe. Again, it's like a green handheld vibrating massager that you can just put on your lymph nodes, and it literally is just vibrating the toxins out of your glands, of your lymph glands, so they can flow and detox. So all of that information, again, is in the notes. Let's see what else. Got the castor oil, got the essential oils, I feel like I'm forgetting one more thing. Everything is going to be in the notes. So all the deals for this week. So I know I went a little bit over tonight, but I thank you so much. I hope that this information has been helpful for you. And also remember that the online gathering place is always in need of volunteers. If you like to lead activities, you don't have to be a professional. You don't have to do the things that I do. You can lead fun activities, like you can lead games. You can do music. You can do trivia, whatever. If you just like leading activities and you have some free time, please send an email to theonlinegatheringplace@gmail.com. We're always in need of volunteers. Eventually, we would like to have 24 hours of coverage so people can have an online place to go at every hour of the day. So please, if that's something that interests you, go ahead and send an email to theonlinegatheringplace@gmail.com. With that being said, actually, I want to end with one final thing. Since it is Thanksgiving tomorrow, I would like to read a prayer card that I pulled out of my prayer card deck. I have this beautiful deck of prayer cards, and usually what I like to do is fan them out and pick one without looking. But I picked this one because of the theme. It is thankfulness. I know you might not be able to see that, but I'm going to read it to you, and then we'll end with that. So insert, if you have a higher power, insert your higher power. If you don't have a higher power, that's fine. Just think about what these words might mean for you. So I thank you, higher power, for all the bounty and blessing that surrounds me, for all of the kindness and the good that you have done for me. May I merit to thank you for my life each and every day, and my heart should be filled with your gifts. So thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I will see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Take care.